Yo, what's going on? It's your main man. Wait a minute, I'm sorry. Let me get in character. What's going on? It's your main man, Rick the Dawn. Hey, what's going on, y'all? So, if you don't know, I am, I am doing reactions to Traitors, which is a show about trading and backstabbing people. And yeah, I feel like I'm in character. Am I in character? All right, I'm just kidding. All right, so a lot of there's a lot I want to say here, and I'm gonna try my best to keep this extremely clean. I think the very best thing to do first is to let you know this episode is brought to you by the Really Hood Podcast. So if you like anything you hear right here, you like my commentary style, go and check out the Really Hood Podcast, available everywhere that podcasts are available. And also, this episode is brought to you by Vid Mondo. That is my version of YouTube that gives you more freedom. All right, let's jump right in. I want to first talk about the cast because that's one of the most important things. I think a lot of people wanted to know who was on the show. So there's your host right there, Alan Cumming. And then this is who is this? Brandy. I don't know this lady, but she seems to be pretty ruthless. I will say that. This is Reza. He makes quite an impression in episode 1. This is Ryan. He's the Olympic swimmer. This is Rachel, who I believe is quite frankly the most scariest player in the game already. Cody, you know him from Big Brother. This is Kyle. I don't recognize him. This is Cherie, the big boss from Survivor. This is Stephanie, another Survivor contestant. Love her. This is Shelby. I'm not quite familiar with this individual. If you don't know, this show had quite a few unnamed individuals, meaning that they were just bringing on normal people. This is Robert. He's one of the contestants on the show as well. This is Quentin. Okay, he makes quite a few appearances on the show, but again, I don't know who he is. He might not be anyone famous. This is Michael Davidson. All right. And this is Kate. I'm not quite familiar with her, but I believe she's on one of the popular shows like the Housewife shows or something like that. This is Geraldine. Not quite familiar who she is. This is Christian. Okay, I found him out today. Learned him today. This is Azra. Okay, Azra. This is some smooth guy. Ari, perhaps. This is uh Angelica. All right, very interesting spelling there. This is Andy. All right, Andy. There it is. There she go. This is Amanda. Okay. Now, I don't know how I'm going to cover this show. I think I want to just be myself, and people are either going to be okay with it or they're going to not watch it again, and I'm okay with both. All right, check it. So this is basically they're giving us a sneak peek in how the Illuminati works. That's pretty much what the show is. Don't let nobody tell you different. This show is all about Freemasonry, and they're trying to give you a little sneak peek into their culture. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And we can see some of the stuff kind of popping out. You can see like the devil horns on both of the sides of the head. So the subliminal messaging is alive and well. I wish I can just cover my light a little bit so you can see it a little easier. You see that? That's the devil horns. So yeah, they're definitely all, the occult is alive and well here in this show. And you might be asking yourself, well, Rick, if that's true, why are you watching it? Because it's a secret. All right. Anyway, enough of that. All right. I wanted to talk about some really cool things. First off, it was so great to see some fan favorites return to the screen. My favorites right now, you already know the answer, right? Sari, I love her demeanor. She reminds me of people I know in my family. But you might be surprised, but you might not expect this. This is the person that I was most excited to see. That might surprise you. All right, I remember seeing her on Survivor and just thinking, wow, she was just extremely just beautiful. And she didn't play well. She played like a 3-year-old in a bumper car arena. She didn't play well. But she was very, very beautiful. I loved how this you probably don't care anything about this, but I just liked her muscle tone, and she just looked very BA. Okay. And I really like that. Cody is back. I'm not a big fan of Cody. I mean, you might be, I'm definitely not. Um, Let me tell you another person I was very excited to see. Come on now. Are you serious? Miss Rachel? Come on. I was extremely happy to see Rachel back. So this episode starts off with this really, dark tone. And by the way, you can watch episode 1 on Peacock for free. You just have to sign up with your email. And after that, you do have to pay. Now, thankfully, my wife purchased a subscription to Peacock because she likes to watch Yellowstone. And I feel like, I'm not about to watch Yellowstone, okay? But I will watch the Traitors. I will watch that because, why not? But anyway, it starts off, you see a nice castle. It's really dark. And then they introduce all the players. They pull up in these beautiful, I want to say Mercedes Benz black trucks. And then once they're inside, they're looking around and trying to, get a sense of who people are. Now, there's a couple things I was not quite privy to when I turned this on. I was not sure how the traders were selected, but I was able to figure out the entire process. So they all come into the house, and no one's a trader yet. I thought the people came in as traders. That wasn't the case. So they come into the house, they're meeting and greeting, and then Alan says, "Hey, by the end of the night, I will be selecting my 3 traders." So I didn't know that was how it's going to go. And then he says, "Also, tomorrow, someone will be murdered." What was up with the way he was saying tomorrow, someone will be murdered? What was up with the way he was saying that? Like he was just saying like murdered. He never said somebody will get murdered. It was always somebody to be murdered. So that's his thing, I guess. So we get to the round table, and he tells everyone to put their blindfolds on because he's now going to select the 3 murderers. And I was just kind of confused about this because I'm thinking to myself, why would you do it this way? I felt like it would be very easy for those who are the, what do they call the people that's not murderers? The faithful. I thought it would be very easy for the faithful to just say, "Hey, I hear him over here. Somebody got tapped on this side." This reminded me of a game we used to play back when I was in like first grade. Everybody put their head on the table and they raise their thumb, and then one person goes around and puts maybe 2 or 3 people's thumbs down, and then you have to, it's a weird game like that. I forget what the name of that game was called. But this game certainly reminded me of that. And no, it was this is how the game went. I'm sorry. I have to do this. The teacher selected 3 players, and then everybody put their heads down, and then the 3 players would go around and put the thumbs down of random, maybe five or so people, or random, maybe five or so people, and then those 5 or so people have to pick between the 3 people who put their thumbs down. Anyway, you probably don't care. But anyway, so he selects, if you're not privy to this information, and obviously I'm giving out spoilers, okay? I mean, by this point, the show has been out since January 12th. If you haven't watched the show and then you clicked on this, I have no idea why you would have done that if you didn't want to know what was going on. So he selected this guy. All right, he selects Cody. He selects, where is he? I'm gonna go ahead and get Sari out the way. He selects Sari. And a very surprising pick was this guy, Christian. Can I just get this part out the way real quick? Why did he select the most obvious people? If I'm coming on this show, there's about 3 players that I'm really expecting to be the traitor. Okay, one of them is Sari. I'm expecting Sari to be a traitor because of the way that she carries herself. And I'm thinking to myself, why wouldn't she be selected? I would have expected Cody to be a traitor. Why? Because that's what Cody does. He trades and backstabs people. He did it all through Big Brother. I would say the guy Christian was a very wild card pick. I was expecting 3 picks like him, but no, he selects Sari, Christian, and Cody. I don't know about you. I don't know how you view the game. I just think selecting Sari and Cody was a bad move. Um, I will tell you this: I did expect Rachel to be selected. Okay, now if you don't know, there are competitions in this game. I didn't really understand the competitions. It's like, what does this have to do with anything? I'll explain what happened in the first competition. They had to assemble this long rope that led to some demon, because it's Illuminati based, okay? Some demon, or they called it monster, but we are not stupid. There's a rope that stretches out in a zigzag pattern to a monster, and they have to find all the rope pieces in which they light, and then that particular light burns this rope until it reaches the monster and sets the monster ablaze. I was kind of cool with the fact that a demon was set on fire. I was cool with that. But this is the weird part. So there were 2 teams, and the group of 20 players was separated into 2 teams. And the way that the game goes is this: the first team to win earns $20,000 for the overall pot, and the second team if they complete the course, they bank another $10,000 for the pot. And I was wondering to myself, so there's no loser. That's what that means. That means there's no way for anyone to lose. If team one finishes the course, $20,000 goes to the pot. If team two, even if they lose, finishes the course, $10,000 goes to the pot. So there's no loser unless both teams just don't complete the course. Yeah, I didn't. And then the winner stand, or I should say the winners or winner stand to make $250,000 at the conclusion of the game. So let me just break down the way that I understand the whole prize structure. If the traders or any of the traders make it to the end, they steal the pot. They take the money. And each night, a contestant gets murdered by the traders. And I guess every day they wake up and find out, because I haven't got to episode 2, they wake up and find out who has been killed off or murdered. And then they have to say, hey, let's go just pick the traitor. Who's the traitor? And if they select the right person, I guess that traitor is exiled. If they select the wrong person, I believe the game continues as normal. And the goal is to eliminate all 3 traitors. Okay, get rid of all 3 before the 3 traitors murder off the contestants. And whoever makes it to the end, they win the money that has been banked from the competition into the pot. Okay. I thought the prize money was guaranteed, but I guess not. These competitions that are held every episode will contribute to the pot. And I guess these contestants stand to make at least $250,000. So that's the best I can do in terms of explaining this convoluted, weird premise. That's the best I got right there. Okay. Let's just go through a little bit of the contestants. I'm not going to do much because I feel like episode 2 will kind of give me more of an insight. And if you also don't know, this episode was pretty interesting because it alluded to the idea that not all the players in the game are celebrities. I thought that was the case upon looking at the trailer, but in actuality, they've put quite a few non-famous people into the game in the mix with these famous players. All right, I don't know who this person is. Her name is Brandy Glanville. My wife seemed to know who she was. I believe she's probably on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I can tell you, I have no clue who she is, but I will tell you that they're terrified of her and the way that she plays the game. She's pretty bossy, and I think that's pretty cool. This guy made quite the impression on episode 1. His name is RZA. I have no idea what show he comes from, but he was very, very loud. Now I'll just get this part out the way. I don't understand the premise of the game because apparently every night the murderers or the traders can group up in their little cellar and they can pick whoever they want to, you know, kill or take out of the game. I just thought that was a little overpowered because if I'm playing a game like this, I'm taking the best players out. It's not like Survivor or Big Brother where there are obstacles in the way of getting rid of the best players. Like with Survivor, if you see a strong player, you have to hope they don't win immunity, and you got to hope that you galvanize all these votes. And Big Brother, you got to put them on the block. You got to hope they don't win. What is it called? The veto competition, and then you got to hope you get the numbers to get them out. So there's a lot of things that stop a player from getting rid of another player. Well, in this game, it doesn't seem to be that simple. I mean, that difficult because if the 3 traders want to get a person out, all they have to do is say, hey, we want that person out. And that's it. And that person's gone. And I'm like, that's too easy. Because this guy right here, during the competition, he was doing a lot of yelling and barking at people. And I was thinking to myself, hey, how easy would it be to just, vote him out? It's no prerequisite. Like, even if you win the competition, you don't win immunity. So I was thinking to myself, the best way to really win this game as a faithful is to lay low and go under the radar. Okay, this guy, he didn't do much. They definitely showed him on the camera a lot. I think because again he's a celebrity, but from my understanding, he swam with Michael Phelps. Now let me just get this out the way. Okay, Rachel is the first player. If I'm a trader in this game, she's the first player that's getting voted out for me. And we saw the deliberation in this episode between the traders, and they did not bring up Rachel's name. And I thought that was a huge, huge mistake. You don't play any game with Rachel and then allow her to go past the first round. If you have a say so in her exit, you get rid of her immediately. But that did not happen in this episode. Okay, they targeted Reza, the Beverly Hills housewives, both of them, because they were very loud and boisterous, and they were hard to control. And it came across to me as if the traders are trying to get rid of the people who are very dominant in terms of their personality, and they want to keep the people that are very quiet and easy to manipulate. Of course, Cody is a traitor, obviously. This guy got quite a few, quite a lot of screen time. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think he's gonna be a big factor. Of course, you know about Sari. She didn't get a lot of screen time, but every time she was on the screen, my attention was there. This is one of those players who is not famous. She hasn't really made a mark yet, but she's probably playing the best game when you consider the premise of the game. The players who stick their neck out too far are the players who will get their heads. And this is probably, I said the last player. I'm gonna go with this guy here. I don't even remember seeing him on the episode. That's the kind of player that I think will help you win this game. He got a lot of screen time, which is why I think he will probably leave early, but he's not making any bold moves. So that's good for him. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't even remember who this guy was. I didn't see him. This is the other, I want to say, Beverly Hills housewife that got a lot of attention, and that's not good in this kind of game. Now, of course, when the guy, Alan Cumming, he goes around and he selects his three, which I thought was really odd. He goes around and he has everybody put blindfolds on, and everybody knows any game or any time when you've been told to put a blindfold on, what did you do? Just be honest. Anytime you were told to put a blindfold on, what did you do? You put it on just enough so you can peek under and see below. So I was very surprised that they allowed the contestants to put their own blindfolds on. And then he selected the players while the blindfolds were on, as if they couldn't peek down. So I just thought the way that they selected the Traitors is pretty flawed. But this lady here, once the blindfolds come off, a lot of players noted Geraldine as being someone who they thought was a traitor. I don't know why. I have no clue why they would think she would be a traitor. But anyway, here's another contestant. I did see her a few times on the screen, but she didn't make an impact. This guy seems to be very debonair, very clean cut. This is who I would expect to be a traitor because he's so quiet and he fits the bill. This is another player, kind of like the guy I mentioned. She's very under the radar. I barely remember seeing her on the screen. This player here is someone who I would watch out for. She seems to be very strategic. Amanda, I have no idea. I didn't even know she's on the show. So, hey, man, how you doing, Amanda? I didn't even know you was on the show. So, Amanda is another player who I would say is under the radar. But the competition takes place, and both teams were able to bank money for the pot. And then after or following that, they go up to the towers in which all the players find out who the actual traitors are. And that's when you see Cody, Christian, and Sari finally embracing and understanding that this is how they're going to do it. And I'm still trying to figure out how the murderers, or rather the traitors, are exiled. I haven't got that far yet, but I believe in episode 2, I will start to see how that process works. Okay. But anyway, I want to stop here because, again, I'm going to do this for every episode. If this particular series gets some attention, if people like it, if not, I'll just kind of watch it and keep it to myself. If you did enjoy this breakdown of episode 1, please give me a like and definitely subscribe so I can continue to do more of these, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, stay safe out there and don't get murdered.